For years, the secrets of Jeffrey Epstein's criminal empire have been locked away in millions of government documents. In a rare bipartisan move, Congress passed the Epstein Files Transparency Act, demanding the Department of Justice release the full, unredacted case file on Epstein's international child sex trafficking ring. The law was clear: release everything except the names of victims. But when the DOJ finally responded, they withheld 3 million pages and heavily redacted the rest, contradicting both the spirit and letter of the law. This partial, censored release has only fueled suspicions that powerful interests are still working to keep the truth hidden. For survivors and the public, this isn't just bureaucratic foot-dragging, it's a continuation of the impunity that let Epstein operate for so long. The fight for the files is now a fight for the principle that no one is above the law. Accessing the Epstein files is a bureaucratic nightmare for Congress. Lawmakers must travel to a secure DOJ facility, surrender all electronics and work alone. No staff, no digital notes. Only 4 computer terminals are available for over 200 members, creating a massive bottleneck. The files are disorganized, forcing members to sift through millions of pages by hand, transcribing notes with pen and paper. This archaic process slows discovery to a crawl and blocks collaboration. The setup seems designed to frustrate, not facilitate, transparency. In the digital age, Congress is reduced to medieval scribes, copying secrets from a fortress of files. The slow crawl for truth inside the DOJ's secure room is a stark reminder: even with a law, the fight for answers faces institutional resistance. As Congress began reviewing the files, 2 shocking problems emerged. First, the DOJ failed to protect victims. Hundreds of survivors' names and personal details were left exposed, violating the law and their trust. Second, the names of powerful suspects and associates were blacked out without explanation. No privilege log was provided, leaving Congress and the public in the dark about why these names were hidden. This selective secrecy suggests a cover-up. The vulnerable are exposed while the powerful are shielded. The law was meant to do the opposite: protect victims and expose enablers. Instead, the DOJ's actions have undermined both justice and trust. The redactions become even more suspicious when examining specific cases. For example, an email quoting Donald Trump about Epstein's presence at Mar-a-Lago was redacted, despite Trump being a public figure and the information being of public interest. Similarly, billionaire Les Wexner's name, central to Epstein's finances, was blacked out, even though his connection is well known. There's no clear legal reason for these redactions. Lawmakers have found other names, like Jean-Luc Brunel and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, inconsistently redacted. The pattern is clear: redactions seem to protect the powerful, not the innocent. Congress is left to decode a puzzle where the black marks are as revealing as the words. Instead of justice, the process looks like damage control for the elite. These unexplained redactions are more than a technicality. They block justice for Epstein's victims. Hiding the names of abusers, enablers, and financiers makes it impossible to map the full network or hold everyone accountable. For survivors, seeing their abusers' names protected by the government is a devastating betrayal. It silences others from coming forward and erodes trust in the justice system. Congress can't perform real oversight if the DOJ decides what evidence they're allowed to see. Until every name is revealed, the shadow of Epstein's influence and the culture of secrecy remains. In response, lawmakers are demanding public hearings with Epstein survivors. Their testimony is crucial. Survivors can identify key players and reveal how the network operated, filling in the gaps left by redacted files. These hearings would put survivors' voices at the center, not as footnotes, but as the main witnesses. The pressure is mounting for the DOJ to release all documents, with only victims' names redacted, as the law requires. Attorney General Pam Bondi is set to testify before Congress, facing tough questions about the DOJ's handling of the files. Lawmakers want to know: why were victims exposed, suspects shielded, and millions of pages withheld? The upcoming hearing is a public showdown. Transparency versus secrecy. The outcome will decide if the push for accountability moves forward or stalls in bureaucratic darkness. The Epstein scandal has rocked the UK, where public and media pressure has forced accountability. In the US, outrage is often lost in partisan noise, making it easier for institutions to delay and obscure. This contrast shows the need for relentless public attention. Without it, the fight for the truth falters. Congress is demanding the full, unredacted Epstein file, 6.5 million pages, with only victims' names protected. If the DOJ refuses, lawmakers may escalate with subpoenas or contempt charges. The path forward is clear. The secrets must come out, the public must pay attention, and survivors, after years of waiting, must finally see the full truth revealed.